We're judging the world and seeing what sucks. We're reviews versus the world.
Kid with no arms, no legs gets a present for Christmas, and the mom asks him, "What do you think it is, Timmy?" He goes, "It better not be another friggin' hat." You see, because he had Welcome to Reviews versus Age of Ultron podcast.
Also known as Reviews versus the really inappropriate jokes.
Yeah.
No, we're going to trim all of that.
Oh.
It'll be a bonus episode later of hey, remember how we're going to hell? This is why. That can be a whole special episode.
Oh my gosh.
It will be Reviews versus After Hours.
And it'll be like 5 hours long.
Can I speak in a really seductive voice the whole time?
Yeah, I was going to say, I would prefer a female After Hours over Brady's After Hours.
Good point.
I don't want to be cuddled. Anyway, so this is Reviews versus Age of Ultron. We're going to be talking about the movie. We'll start with what everyone's been into in the last... Oh, how long has it been since the last time? A week?
Yeah, a week and 2 days.
Okay, a week and a half.
Stuff has happened.
Yeah, there's been stuff.
It might be 2 weeks by the time this actually gets posted, so you know.
Steven, let's hear it. I know that you're bursting to tell us something very exciting.
Okay, so I totally forgot that this amazing comic was coming out this month that I just had to tell somebody about. So, if you've never read Usagi Yojimbo, it is one of the greatest comics that has ever been made. This guy, Stan Sakai, has been putting out this comic for like 30 years. He draws it all, he inks it all, he letters it all, he writes it all. It's the story of a samurai in the samurai age of Japan, walking around and doing samurai things. He does happen to be a bunny.
Okay.
So
And
this
that's
is...
completely normal.
If you've seen Ninja Turtles, the character has appeared on Ninja Turtles. Miyamoto Usagi has appeared on Ninja Turtles a couple of times. In like almost every iteration of the Ninja Turtles cartoon, he's appeared.
Wait! I had a samurai.
You might have had the samurai bunny toy. Yes, it's him. It's him.
Wow.
He has his own comic.
What was the name of the duck? I had the duck.
Ace Duck.
Ace Duck.
Ace Duck. So anyway,
Yeah.
the book that came out is called Usagi Yojimbo Senso, which I think is the Japanese word for war. I don't know that for certain. Anyway, this is a non-canonical conclusion to the series where all of the characters that have been having these conflicts for 30 years meet on a battlefield to have a final confrontation. And then, in this series, which I need to tell you that up until this point has been a very well-researched reflection of what Japanese life was like during the Age of the Samurais, despite the fact that all the characters are funny animals, it's actually pretty realistic.
Wow.
In the middle of this battle, the Martians invade.
Of course they do.
And it's basically a prequel to War of the Worlds.
Okay.
And it's amazing. What? It is Stan Sakai is one of my favorite artists. It looks fantastic. It's drawn in this black and white style with this immaculate cross-hatching. It's brilliant. It's very funny. Very, very tragic. Because it's non-canonical, he feels like he can get away. Sakai feels like he can get away with a lot of nonsense that he wouldn't actually pull in the main series. So, yeah, a lot of heartbreak happens. It's this really exciting book. It's probably not worth it if you haven't read at least some of the 30 years of Usagi Yojimbo that precedes it. But if you haven't, then you should, because it's amazing. It's really good stuff.
Really hits
Awesome.
that bunny, samurai, Martian, that fix that you need.
Yeah, in a way that nothing else has to date.
I don't know. I heard Bunny and Samurai, and I was like, all right, I'm intrigued against my will, so
I have roughly 28 volumes up there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of the reviews that I have in my back pocket. I'm planning on doing a full review of this comic at some point.
Excellent. Awesome. Brady?
All right. Well, I've been playing video games. I know that's surprising to everybody here.
What?
But I have been playing some video games, and specifically Xenoblade Chronicles
Aha.
on the 3DS, which it was originally for the Wii, and I played it. I loved it. I didn't get very far because it takes a lot of time to get far in it. It's sort of very huge open world. But just to give a little bit of background of kind of what this game is, basically there are these two gigantic world-sized mechs fighting on this world. Mm-hmm. And they just get frozen in time, and then people start living on them. And so, like, everywhere that you go, like, it will say, you are on Bionis' elbow, as you're looking out onto this huge field, and, like, you see parts of the mechs, and, like, you see the other mech in the distance as, like, a giant moon type thing. And so, anyway, that's all pretty cool. But it's an RPG, and it's one of the best games from last generation. And so the 3DS version definitely has its problems. It doesn't look as good as the Wii version, anywhere close to it. It has a lot of, like, PS1 level...
Wait, the Wii actually outstripped something with graphics?
I
I
know!
was just gonna say.
Never
Amazing.
happens.
But it's an amazing game, man. I'm absolutely loving it. Another game that I've been playing is Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, which is a lot of fun. And it's up to 4 people at once on one TV, which is kind of my wheelhouse. That's one of the reasons I play games, is to, sit around with a group of people having fun with the game. And John actually played it with me.
I was going to say, is that the game that I played that I couldn't find any ammo? And I got shot a lot. And, like, everyone knew the map but me, so I'm, like, stuck somewhere in, like, a shed or something. You guys are already, like, the next fort down the...
This was exactly my experience with GoldenEye.
Oh, GoldenEye.
I was so bad at that game.
I love GoldenEye. How can you be bad at GoldenEye?
Pretty easily, as it turns out.
Well, like, I understand, like, you play the kid that's good in your class who just, like, shoots you every time you appear, but, like, I don't know. You play it on easy. That's what I did.
It doesn't matter if you're in multiplayer.
Oh. I'm just saying.
Anyway. And then one of the things that I try to do is anytime that we put out a review, I want to make sure that I give that, whatever we review, a fair shake myself. And so I've been watching Adventure Time.
Ah!
And they actually just put Adventure Time onto Hulu with 5 seasons, whereas before it was only 2 seasons on Netflix.
And I've still only seen the first 4. I haven't seen Season 5 yet.
So Season 5
And I'm the one who did the review.
has this episode that's probably my favorite episode. Now, one of the things that I'm actually loving about Adventure Time is I love how canonical it really is. Like, you wouldn't expect, this kids show to actually have consequences to what happens in these episodes, but
it's all about the consequences.
Exactly. And, there's these deep emotional moments and impacts, and it's so great, and I love it. But my favorite episode so far has absolutely nothing to do with any other episode at all. And it's an episode called The Box Prince, where what it is Fane wakes up one morning, looks outside, and he sees this cardboard box with a face drawn on it, so he decides to go investigate, and turns out that there's a cat underneath it. And then the cat leads him to this whole society of cats with cardboard boxes with faces drawn on them. So, like, they're just underneath the cardboard boxes walking around, so you just see cardboard boxes. But the hilarious thing about it is it's like they have this whole intricate society, the story goes that the cat that Finn first meets is actually a prince for this society, but somebody else has usurped his position, and so he's trying to help him get it back. But the great thing is, anytime that one of the cats is out of their cardboard box, they're just a regular cat. So they're just meowing and, cuddling up to him, but, they're under the cardboard box, and all of a sudden they're, menacing and trying to joust each other.
I have a vague recollection that I actually think I might have caught this episode on Cartoon Network. The cats don't actually talk, do they?
They don't.
They
just meow. They're just regular cats with boxes on top of them.
Somehow they know... Somehow it's communicated that it's a whole society of...
Well, the main character's there, so he's, narrating this whole thing.
Oh my god.
Also, I'm pretty sure there is a castle of some kind.
There is. So they have cardboard boxes as well.
Yeah.
Alright, fine. I will watch Adventure Time, because every time that someone describes it or I flip by, it's like a dream that someone had, and they're trying to tell me all about it, and it's just like... What? I don't...
And
it does have to be seen to be believed.
I guess so.
Another thing that I love about it is the faces on the cardboard boxes will suddenly change when the camera cuts away. And so, which, of course it doesn't explain that at all, because it's just drawn on with marker. But, It made me laugh so hard. And I know that it's just this gimmick for this one episode, but it really struck a chord with me for some reason. It's exactly my type of humor.
I'm still on the mech game and wondering what the social class structure is depending on what part of the anatomy you live on. You know, like, I'm on the mech's butt, so I'm not as well off as the people who are living on the shoulder, or the head, or the gun, or the foot, even. Emily, please save us. You've been into something that makes sense, I'm sure, right?
Well, the thing about the things I've been into is the fact that the problem is that I haven't had time to just sit and enjoy things because I've been so busy doing other things. Like, the last podcast you heard that I was going to the gym and dieting and stuff like that, which is like normal people stuff. And I've been watching more Gilmore Girls, which isn't necessarily normal people stuff, but it's the same stuff that I've been doing for the past
kind of
month.
normal people stuff.
It is normal people stuff. My wife has been watching it nonstop for weeks.
You're welcome.
It's in my home.
I played Guitar Hero 3 with my fiance today. Was it today? It was today.
Emily's fiance is in the back.
He's hiding in the back because he drove and he's very sweet. And I bought The Holiday yesterday at Barnes & Noble because obviously that's where you go to get the best movies, a bookstore. And I saw the Avengers Age of Ultron. Yeah. That's what I've been into.
Woo!
Yay!
I don't think you have a place in this podcast.
Thank you.
Avengers, what is that?
Yeah, Gilmore Girls, sure. Holiday, alright. But Avengers...
So when are we going to be doing our holiday, podcast?
Probably in December.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
Alright, then I get to talk about Eli Roth, and I actually know a lot about that movie because it gets played a lot at my home.
It's so good.
You're happily married. You're happily married. You're happily married.
I love my wife. I just don't think I have to love all of the things that are loved by my wife.
But the holiday's so good.
It is tolerable. I will give you tolerable. Some parts are just fine. Some parts are great. The scene with Dustin Hoffman happened because he happened to be driving... Well, his cameo happened because he happened to be driving by and was like, hey, what's going on in that store?
That's
and,
funny.
Knew the director, See, I've read the IMDb page because I'm sitting there like, why am I watching this movie instead of a movie that I picked?
I'd rather read the quotes from the movie on the IMDb page than listen to them spoken by actors.
Sometimes context makes things worse.
That's true.
But you don't love, Jack Black's charm in that movie?
Yes, I love Jack Black's charm. I'm not a monster. I have a heart. I do know that all the roles were picked for those actors specifically. I don't want to talk about... We're not talking about it. It is great that you bought it. Now you own it, and you can enjoy it anytime you'd like.
Yes, I can.
Except for right now, apparently.
I can just turn it on. We can talk about it. It's fine. So you guys need analysis, anybody?
Oh, poor Kate Winslet. Oh. You live in a beautiful place, Daniel.
Right.
Here's the problem is... It's jealousy.
Yeah?
If Jude Law is on the screen, then I'm not in the room. And it's just my wife and Jude Law. I think that's a thing for a lot of females out there. And I can't argue with them. I have no arguments against the Jude Law persuasion.
That is right.
Because dang if he is not handsome and charming.
Yeah, he's probably one of the most handsome, charming people there is.
And the accent on top of all that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, John, go to a happy place. What have you been into for the last 2 weeks?
Avengers.
Yay!
So I was not here in the last podcast because I was celebrating my anniversary. And also that week, the planets aligned, and I had taken 2 days off work for the day before the Avengers and the Avengers, and used my paid time off wisely, because I'm a grown-up. And my wife and I wanted to take some time off to spend together for our anniversary. So it ended up that I had a whole week off just because of this, and it was lovely. And I had been really trying to stay up and do a daily drawing on Instagram leading up to the Avengers April, and try to do parodies of famous movie posters with Avengers thrown into them. So that was my project that whole time, and it was something that kept me busy, and the whole time kept looking forward to the Avengers and avoiding all the trailers and getting really excited for it. And so,
Oh my gosh.
it was a good week.
We have to share Nate's story since Nate is not here.
Please go.
Oh my god. So, Nate, who is not here tonight, went to the midnight release for the Avengers.
Before we get into this story a little bit further, we have to warn you, there will be spoilers in this podcast.
Oh,
yes.
This is a spoiler cast, so...
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
If you have not seen the Avengers Age of Ultron, turn it off now.
Like,
Also-
so far away.
also-
No hope.
Also, this story might make you mad. So, Nate goes to the midnight screening. On his way out, there's another screening that's starting, and there is a man and his wife, or girlfriend, that are heading in. And the man is
Oh, no.
yelling
No.
at his girlfriend.
Ooh, this story's so good. I just remember.
Because she nearly spoiled the trailer to Avengers Age of Ultron, and the man was trying to go in having not seen any of it. And so Nate calls
This was
the man...
not me.
No. Nate calls the man over to his car, and in 7 seconds spoils the entire third act of the movie, and then drives away.
Oh, Nate's the devil.
The man kind of deserved it, because he was yelling at his girlfriend and calling her all sorts of nasty names.
Well, he shouldn't be doing that, but
I think like emotional abuse is worse than having a movie spoiled.
Well,
If you're
especially
going to
Yes.
wait crying,
you're right. But apart from looking at just what Nate did is what I'm saying. Maybe the guy deserved it, but I think there could have been a middle ground of like hitting
stalking
him
him in the face.
well, hitting him with the car
gut.
door and then driving him.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
physical
Hey,
violence is
we'll
apparently...
get into our Daredevil review.
Yeah, that's actually how I spent my day was listening to Age of Ultron and Daredevil podcasts. It was enjoyable.
Nice.
So, well, I wanted to go around and talk about how we all came to the Avengers, because I think everyone's path to the movies, maybe through comics, maybe through television, maybe through... I wanted to like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I did, but I've fallen off, and I've not kept the faith, and here we are. But I just thought we'd go on. Let's start with Emily. We'll just go backwards. How did you arrive? So you saw the Age of Ultron
We did.
movie. Why did you get there? Were you interested from previous films or comics? Or films
I've always liked superhero movies. I'm not a really big comic book person. I mean, I'm surrounded by people who are into comic books, so I understand what's happening in the
like in
comic
this
books.
room.
But I've watched a lot of superhero movies. Like, I liked Iron Man, which really got me into superhero movies more than anything.
Probably got a lot of women into superhero
Well,
movies.
Probably got a
Robert
lot
Downey
of
Jr.,
everyone.
hello!
No one is questioning that.
He's got these eyes and his jaw. Anyway.
Delicious.
Hi, fiance.
kind of evaporated there for a second.
So really, it's just been through the movies. I've watched all of the movies leading up to Age of Ultron. I've kept it so that I understand what's going on. I'm not skipping them out. And I mean, I've liked most of them all, mostly. None of the Hulk movies are any good, but Mark Ruffalo's really good.
Yes,
so
he is.
that's how I got there. Very short.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Sherlock Holmes is like a perfect storm because it's Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law.
Right?
It's just no win.
It's also a bad movie, though.
What? You didn't like it?
Oh, I love them.
We'll have that conversation later.
Stephen will be
Different
touched
time.
later.
They're definitely very Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
But I like Guy Ritchie's ridiculously British style. But that's just me.
Brady, how did you arrive at Avengers?
It all goes back to the year 1993.
Oh dear.
Where I had collected enough change around the house to walk down to Reams and rent Captain America and the Avengers for the Super
I
Nintendo.
remember that
I
game!
thought you were going to say the
You
original
probably
Captain
played that game with me.
Not
I'm
with
sure.
you. I've actually played it at the arcade. I don't think I ever played it with you, though.
Yeah, and so it's, looking back, it's actually a very, very crappy game. But I was excited for it because, I had heard of these superheroes, but I didn't really know anything about them. And basically, it allows you to be Captain America, Iron Man, Vision, or Hawkeye. And, like, he could call in help from Scarlet Witch.
That's who I would
As
pick.
soon as Hawkeye gets named, everybody starts giggling. Who'd be Hawkeye?
Now I would.
Oh yeah.
At the time.
Well, actually, at the time, I was kind of digging Hawkeye. I liked him.
Was
You know, I thought
the
the whole...
projectile whip. Actually, Cap can throw the shield.
Yeah, Cap can throw the
Vision
shield,
can shoot.
and so can Iron Man. So, but I just like bows and arrows because, you know, that was a cool thing when you're a kid.
He's like Robin Hood, but purple.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like purple, everybody?
And he has an H in his forehead, but he's not from an overrated British sitcom.
Wow, that was Red Dwarf. That
Wow.
pretty
Yeah.
So you've seen all the other movies, of course.
Yes, and of course I've seen all the other movies. Loved them. I love Joss Whedon. Pretty much anything that he touches turns to gold, in my opinion.
So, Emily, your favorite Avenger, would it be safe to say it's Iron Man, or do you have another favorite?
Oh, that's really a complicated question. I have a hard time picking favorites just in general.
We could rephrase it. Who would you want to be on a desert island with?
None of them. Captain America probably would be the most tolerable because he's a real gentleman and he's got this face that's just nice to look at.
Well, that's good because you'd be stuck there because you can't fly. I'd pick Thor. Brady?
But if we're talking about who's better to look at,
Oh, who's better to look at? Okay. I understand there were cuts made to the film, but the whole scene with Thor, like, going to get answers to his dream or whatever, like...
We'll get into it.
Part of that was...
We'll get into it.
How can we get Thor's shirt off?
Every
How
Thor
would we
movie,
make
he
this
needs
happen?
to take his shirt off. That
Yeah.
has to be there.
but
Now,
he
I'm
wasn't
not-
nearly as, like, ripped as Captain America was.
Mm.
If you really think about it, physically,
I haven't really thought about it.
maybe you should think harder
I
next.
observed. I appreciated. Good job.
Okay, so them
Your
or
favorite-
Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy? There's your question.
Oh, that's... That's a difficult question because they're appealing in different ways.
I'm still laughing at the Thor crack. That was hilarious. I'm better now.
Brady, so you still haven't read any comics or anything, is that right?
You know
okay.
me, I'm not a comics guy.
I
And
don't know. Just seeing where we all land on.
Yeah.
So your favorite Avenger then?
Ooh, that's
You
a tough
you don't
one.
have to think about their abs, just in general, like who you.
No,
enjoy.
you have to think about their abs.
Abs and faces have to be taken into consideration.
Good gracious.
Just in general, I mean, if we're going by the desert island
No,
analogy,
forget that. That was a bad
Okay.
analogy. I shouldn't have made that.
all right, or just someone that I can hang out with, I'd probably say Iron Man, and then hey, let me wear one of the suits,
There you go.
There you go.
and then I can feel like a superhero too, because I mean, hey, that's just awesome.
I get it.
Stephen, we're sitting in the shadow of your excellent collection of comics, so I would guess that this goes back a ways.
Okay, so my first exposure to the Avengers, trading cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was a
Huge.
kid, I got into the cartoons, like the X-Men cartoons, the Batman cartoons, superhero. I actually, to this day, consider cartoons to be the apex medium for the superhero. The live-action movies are great. They're wonderful. I love comics. I love superhero comics. But the best way to experience a superhero story is in the cartoon. But the cartoons, there weren't Avengers cartoons at the time, and I've actually never seen any of the Avengers cartoons, because there are a couple of them now. I've never seen
The
them.
ones I've seen are pretty good.
Yeah, the Avengers Assemble. I've
Yeah,
watched,
yeah.
and that was decent.
Pretty good.
But my excitement for the X-Men cartoons and the Spider-Man cartoons at the time led my parents to buy us a huge box of trading cards for Marvel Comics. This must have been 93.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was like right in the middle of the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, or right after it. And so I had those cards, so I know all the characters from Marvel Comics from that time. Have never read most of their comics, but I know who they are, and I know what their relative power levels are.
Yeah.
And around that same time, my brother did get a copy of Infinity Gauntlet, and that was the moment when I was first really impressed with Captain America. Because there's a moment where Thanos is about to just obliterate everyone. The only guy left standing is Captain America. Can't do anything. He just walks up and socks Thanos in the face. and then dies. But he does it, and it's amazing. It's this fantastic moment. He gets better. Comic books. He gets better.
Nobody's dead.
So that answers the next question that you're going to ask.
Yeah.
Of the Avengers, I love Hawkeye. The Hawkeye ongoing series is brilliant. Was brilliant. It's now ended, so it's not ongoing anymore. And I think that I've always had a soft spot for the Vision. But really, Captain America, I just love the fact that he's a man who represents this ideal of what our country should be like, and even when our country's not always like that, he still stands by it. I'm not even a huge patriot. I hate the 4th of July. It's my least favorite holiday. But Captain America, that idealism, that optimism that goes behind him, he's my favorite character, far and away.
Well, it's that moral compass, even apart from just patriotism.
Oh, yeah.
And how dare you dislike a holiday where you can have a steak with your burger and no one looks at you twice.
This is America. You can do that any day of the week. It's called Chili's.
True. But there are fireworks.
Yeah, true. Fireworks.
So, I always liked the X-Men. I think my first comic was a Spider-Man comic and liked cartoons. Every time I was going to ask you, when you read Batman, do you hear Kevin Conroy's voice in your
If
head?
it's a good Batman story, it's Kevin Conroy's voice.
And if it's a bad Batman story?
Gilbert Gottfried. I am the knight!
That's going to mess up how I read comics.
Hey! I'm Batman!
Okay. And when you read... Oh, gosh. When you read Wolverine, is it the voice from the cartoon? That's still...
That is not even the tiniest bit Canadian. Yeah, it's
whatever.
Australian.
Yeah.
Crying out loud. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
Canadian, whatever. Like...
What are countries?
What are countries?
It's sometimes with the right accents it's okay, and sometimes it's like, oh, what is this garbage? Just write what they're saying.
Hugh Jackman was born to play Wolverine, but in my mind, Wolverine will always sound like the 90s cartoon.
Yeah.
That's right, Bob.
The first time I remember seeing the X-Men was like a commercial for the action figures, and I was like, I would like some of these. Who are these guys? And then saw the series, and then started reading the comics. And the first time I heard about the Avengers was, did you read the Onslaught epic thing they did?
Nope, missed that.
Yeah. Apparently, it was something that people hated, and the fallout of it people hated. But I was like, hey, look at all these guys! And it was, the Avengers coming together with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. That was the first time I'd been exposed to them, so I was like, oh, this is Captain America. I thought Iron Man was a robot. So
He might have been at that point, actually. Iron Man's gone through a lot of weird changes.
It was, I mean, he didn't have a whole lot to do in there. He didn't talk very much. It was mostly Captain America, X-Men, and Mr. Fantastic centric. So, anyway, but then, yeah, since I doubted, I was like, I don't know about Iron Man, because he was a C-list level, guy before the movie came out, and then now he's, big as it gets. So, and I would pick Thor, because...
He can fly.
No, because of the abs.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I thought we could take a break now, and then we'll come back with our very, very, very spoilery review. Review? No.
Response.
Appreciation of Age of Ultron.
Woo!
So welcome back. What we found out over the break is that The Prestige is actually Christopher Nolan's best film, and if you don't think so, then apparently you're wrong. I did not know this.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could set you all right.
I thought The Dark Knight had some arguments, but no.
No, it has arguments. They're just wrong.
And Inception is just right out.
Yeah, no, not even close.
Well, let's talk about a really great movie that we saw, guys. I'm just gonna, I'm in my Iron Man shirt, and I'm ready to talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Iron Man.
Nope, we're talking about Age of Ultron.
We're talking about Age of Ultron.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't have an Avengers t-shirt.
I saw Death Comes to Pemberley. We could talk about that.
Why? Why are you doing this? We're going to start with Emily now. So, I had a couple of questions I asked everybody in thinking of Age of Ultron, and we can kind of cover the scenes that we love from the movie as well. But what makes a good sequel, and does Age of Ultron meet those requirements?
What makes a good sequel for me, at least, is that sequels are hard to do because I get bored really quickly. Because I feel like in a lot of sequels, they're trying really hard to make it as good as the first movie, and they don't succeed a lot of the times, especially when we're talking about Disney sequels. Not Pixar sequels necessarily, but Disney sequels, Little Mermaid 2. Anybody? Any of the Cinderella sequels?
Did not bother.
Anyway.
But Spy Who Shagged Me, Austin Powers, yes.
Yeah.
But repeat the same jokes and, yeah.
But they kept me... I think it kept me interested enough because it had a, interesting storyline and there was enough action and comedy and things like that. And I think that the things that they did as far as character development was nice. Like, watching the movie, I liked Black Widow even more than I did in the first Avengers. I liked Hawkeye more. Mm-hmm. I liked pretty much everybody more, except for Tony Stark.
No?
Really?
Because his mad scientist turn, or?
He just bugged me in this movie. Like, I understood where he was coming from emotionally with stuff, and he still has that post-traumatic kind of a deal. He thinks his friends are gonna die, because he has that vision because of the Scarlet Witch, you know what I mean? But he just didn't really do it for me as much as he grinded my gears a little bit.
He was missing a little bit of the charm. I think I agree with that. He didn't quite have the RDJ charm that we're used to seeing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There were moments that I loved. I'm sorry, I'm eating pizza while I'm talking.
How dare you?
It's a podcast sin.
Wham! The part where they're in the facility after they've infiltrated, and he's pushing on the wall. Please let there be a secret. Please let there be a door. Yay!
That might be my favorite. My favorite line of his. I have it listed here in my notes.
So I talked about that like 5 times after I saw the movie.
Right before that, he comes into the room full of Hydra soldiers, like I don't know, a dozen of them or something. He's like, "Guys, let's talk about this." They're all shooting him, and then he just pop! Hits them all with his little darts or whatever it is that he has on his shoulder. He's good talk, and one guy's just real quiet. No, it wasn't. I don't know if you caught that.
That was such a dog.
I caught it on the second viewing. I thought I'd heard it on the first one, but everyone was laughing too hard because he was just like, "Good talk," and they're all like, "Ugh."
Right.
Brady, what makes a good sequel?
So I think that what makes a good sequel is in an original movie or a book or what have you, basically you're spending your time showing characters and their backgrounds and, just how they can get together, especially in something like the Avengers. A sequel needs to be adding depth to all of your characters. And that's something that I don't think that Joss Whedon could really do in the first movie. Because he had to they had to get together in the first place. But this movie definitely had the depth. And, of course, he kind of cheated in how he did it, because you have, everybody's going to see nightmares, and these nightmares will give you depth into their characters. Thank you, Scarlet Witch.
I don't know if that's a cheat so much as, I don't know, a way to use your characters that you have. You're bringing in Scarlet Witch, and then that's, her connection to the team, and something that gives her, pain later. I think it'll be something that is drawn back upon in sequels. I think that she has her problems in the comics. I think it's something they can use on it later. I don't know if I call it a cheat or as much as a tool, but maybe it's cheating.
But then again, I feel like the character that was the best developed in this movie, that was very underserved in the first movie, and of course even worse, however I can say that, but who even got a bigger shaft in Thor, because he was there for 5 seconds, was Hawkeye.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here we see Hawkeye has a family. He has a life. He has a wife who he loves, and they actually have a good relationship.
But he doesn't have a pizza dog.
He doesn't have a pizza dog. Doesn't count.
That's important.
Does not fit into my head canon. There's no pizza dog.
So this is now an alternate universe canon.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
It worked well for the movie. I loved it.
It was great. It was great for the movie.
And I'm trying to find the actress's name because she's wonderful, who plays his wife.
Oh, it's Linda Cardellini, who was in Freaks and Geeks. She was the main girl.
So many things.
I'm going to have to IMDb her later because I swear I've seen her in other things.
She's been in 1,000 things. Off the top of my head, I can think Freaks and Geeks, Legally Blonde, and the live-action versions of Scooby-Doo.
So we'll talk about...
I've not seen any of those.
Well, you should
talk
watch
about Freaks and Geeks. She was Velma, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I loved her as that part.
I liked her, and I hate Freddie Prinze Jr. And
Does anybody like
don't-
Freddie Prinze Jr.?
He does.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm not really a Sarah Michelle Gellar fan. I know.
No.
No one's going to judge you for that one.
No.
She was
No.
Buffy.
No,
That's
Buffy.
fine,
Buffy was
but-
great despite Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I watched the pilot, and I was like, wow, I remember what the 90s are like now. What makes a good sequel, Steven?
For me, a good sequel has two different components. It has tighter focus, and it has progression. If you
Yeah.
have a sequel where the characters revert and they have the same arc that they have to go through, they have to learn the same lessons, you have not done your job as a sequel. You also do need to have focus, and I think it's difficult to pull off the focus because the impulse, especially if you're a studio executive, it seems, is to make the sequel bigger, put more stuff in the sequel. But that's not always the strongest route, especially since there's going to be a cap, because there will come a point when you can't get any bigger.
My throat.
Yeah, you should really get that bug out of your throat.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah,
It's the Bay.
sounds like a racist bug.
It is.
So for me, the Avengers fails on one of the points. Avengers: Age of Ultron doesn't have enough focus.
Yes,
It's
everyone.
It's a bloated movie. It has way too much stuff going on in it. It does have more progress. Nobody feels like they've reverted back to the beginning of the Avengers. Everything that happens feels like it's a natural progression. Even when I don't like where it's going, it is a progression. Ultimately, I have to say that even though I think it's got a lot of problems, and I'm sure we'll talk about the problems, I liked Age of Ultron better than the first Avengers movie. I have very specific reasons for liking it better, and I'm sure we'll get into
Brady's
them.
in pain.
I don't quite agree, but that's just me personally. We'll talk about it.
I'm
We'll
not
talk about
saying
it.
I'm not saying either of the movies were bad either. I loved Avengers and I loved Age of Ultron. As a sequel, I think it has a lot of problems though, and a lot of it is that they introduce too much. They have Ultron, they have Quicksilver, the Scarlet Witch, they have Vision that pops up 3/4 of the way through the movie and gets no arc at all.
Do you think if they were given more time if the sequel was worked in such a way that they had more, like, not necessarily more runtime of the movie, but more attention were on those characters to develop them, that it'd be better?
It would, because you don't need to develop Iron Man anymore.
Right.
He's had 4 movies now at this point to be developed. You don't need to develop Captain America because he's had 3 movies. You need to develop Thor because his movies don't do anything for him.
I was gonna
love
say.
We got into that last week, but I hate the Thor movies. So
My favorite of the Phase 1 movies. I know. I didn't expect it, but I love it.
we're fighting.
Loki, man. Come on.
He's a babe.
But
That's not my argument. Emily's on my side. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah, it
because
fails.
it fails because it doesn't develop the new characters nearly well enough. Scarlet Witch,
yeah.
who should have been the breakout character of this movie,
Yeah.
and was almost there, doesn't quite get the development she needs. Quicksilver is completely shortchanged.
He gets just enough that you care about him.
Hey, don't judge him,
Just-
bro.
I
Good accents.
kind of disagree.
I thought they were decent. I was
Decent.
expecting really bad accents because
As someone who knows Russians who try to speak English,
they did a good job. But I'm saying,
Good job.
in movies, like, go and watch Hunt for Red October. This is actually like the Russian language in movies.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin's 2 lines of Russian is better than all of Sean Connery's, and Sean Connery's the Soviet sub-commander. It's like, it's not even, some of the stuff he says isn't even like what the subtitles say. That's a common problem in translations in movies, but like,
well, Sam
For the most
Neill
part.
was even worse than that.
Oh.
Sam Neill, you can't understand anything that he's saying, and I should be able to understand it because I understand the Russian language.
Ugh.
So this has been our Age of the Red October podcast.
Yes.
Does anyone else think it's funny that the 2 actors that played Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were married in Godzilla?
It was a little
Oh my
crazy.
gosh!
Little crazy.
I did not put that
Weird.
together!
Oh, When I saw Godzilla, I was like, this is going to be weird. And Age of Ultron comes
Right?
out.
Well, if you've read the Ultimates comics, there was a twincesty thing going on with them.
Yeah.
Which is about number 5 on a list of thousands of reasons why I don't read Ultimate Marvel at all.
Ultimate Spider-Man is good.
Ultimate Spider-Man was good, and it
That's
was
all
the
that I
only
consider.
one.
Like I try to ignore the rest of it because I read that too. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
But I compare sequels to 2 sequels that I think hit the mark, and that's Empire Strikes Back and Toy Story 2.
Both excellent sequels.
Because you get.
Make me cry.
Oh, let's not talk about it. Because you get more character time, you get to know the characters more, the story moves along. I think one of the requirements is that you need to expand the world of the first movie. Whatever the first movie was, you need to get a sense of the wider world. Catching Fire did that. The book and the film. I'm not going to talk about how well or not well the book was written.
Yes.
Or compare, that movie to like films, but that is something that it did well as a sequel. The stakes need to change and the status quo needs to change too. It can't be villain of the week. It can't be, how they're going to get out of this mess this time. It has to be something different. It has to give you a reason to come back. Something to build on for next time too.
Right.
I think it was a good sequel. I feel like it met those requirements. Yes, it was a little bloated, but like, maybe I'm seeing this like, as too much of a fan and just, more movies, more better. That wasn't the case with The Hobbit, I found out.
Yeah.
But I was a huge fan of the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, but then The Hobbit was just too much. So there is a point when it is too much, even if you love it. But I don't know. I like Age of Ultron. I thought it.
See, and here's my thing with the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, is I don't view them as individual movies. I view it more as an extended TV show that we have to wait a long time for the next episode.
Oh, it's totally serial. It totally is.
And when I look at that, I look at the things that they added and how much was in there, and realize that the payoff is not necessarily for this movie with the elements that they add. That is leading towards the future. That's leading towards the season finale, which is coming up. It's not necessarily all for just that.
I mean, that's why Cap 2 was really, really good. I think my favorite out of all the movies, even after Avengers and Avengers 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy. I think Captain America 2 still is arguably the best one.
Seconded. I very much agree with this.
And it was...
as we had this discussion last time.
Yeah, sorry to repeat that. It did its piece to, like, connect to the other movies, and, it changed how S.H.I.E.L.D. operates, that kind of thing. It didn't really have a connection to the Infinity Stones, so that's kind of how everything else is, that, like, all the other movies... Not all of the other movies, because Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2, you don't get that, but... everyone's doing their piece kind of leading up to Infinity War, which, it has to be a huge payoff. That's going to be a tricky sequel to do. To incorporate all the characters.
Yes, it will.
Thanos show him actually doing something, because
for a change,
his, like, space porta potty just...
Hey, he walked this time.
I know.
And reached out, which is more than he's done,
So we've now seen Thanos get dressed.
Well, maybe we've seen him get into Asgard, because the last place that the gauntlet was in the trophy room, right?
Well, yeah, and if you think about it, I mean, he's the one who gave Loki the Infinity Stone in the first place with the staff. So...
thinking that he'd get another one out of it, and he lost them both.
And, of course, now Loki is pretending to be Odin, so, hey...
He's got
he has an in where he could just say, hey, remember that time where I gave you all that power and then you screwed me over? Yeah, I'm going to go take this glove.
I want it back now. Well, let's talk about the movie. I love how it opens. Some of the lines early on when Cap's saying language, and they play back on that the whole time. I knew it. I was like, Cap's going to curse at the end of the movie. Someone's going to call him on it. It's going to be beautiful. And it was. Strucker surrendering. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was funny.
He's like, no surrender! I am going to surrender. Immediately turns. I don't think that, like, I don't know if they had anything on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with him. Just
actually
referenced but not shown or something.
Okay, so I'm going to spoil a little bit of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. here, because...
Oh no, stop, come back.
Because it is connected. So the week before Age of Ultron came out in theaters, they actually pretty much led right up to it. And it had Strucker, and I can't remember the other guy who Strucker was with.
Toady. Other science, yeah, Toady the scientist, yeah.
Yeah, but the other guy was actually in the last episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where he was doing his own thing to experiment on people with abilities, and it gets into, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going into this whole Inhumans thing, blah, 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 and so they're trying to study them. But basically, through this guy, Coulson was able to find out about the staff and, the people being experimented on in, what is the name of the imaginary country? Sokovia.
Made up a stand.
Yeah.
Which,
But anyway, so Coulson found out about Sokovia, and he actually is the one who tipped off Maria Hill, who brought the Avengers together, and so it actually goes into all of that in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
See, I saw these scenes, and Brady is making them much more exciting. So, this means they are very exciting if you have seen all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., therefore, watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I will repent and get around to it.
And then this last week, it actually shows, where the helicarrier came in.
Oh.
So it actually shows that, because, those were two things when I saw Age of Ultron. I hadn't watched, the latest Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at that point. So that just kind of got to me like, this doesn't make sense. Why are they back together? Like, who is it that said, hey, everybody, let's get back together and go find the staff?
I always just assumed that Sam Jackson did it.
Yeah.
Because, Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
And then,
Deus Ex Sam Jackson.
yeah, exactly. And then the helicarrier appearing out of nowhere. I mean, those were two elements that really kind of bugged me because we don't have any background to it. And it turns out there is background to it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, see, that helps because the movie worked for me when my wife, seeing it with me the second time, she knew that the helicarrier was coming. I was just like, oh no, what's going to happen? Just completely forgot about any backup plan that they had come up with. So they go to Sokovia, they take down Hydra, really great action scene. They start off the movie with a tracking shot that they kind of saved to the end of the last Avengers. And I probably squealed like a little girl in the theater when they all jumped over that last barrier getting close to the fortress. Mm-hmm. That was pretty rad. Loved that. So they get in there, Scarlet Witch hits Tony after he finds the secret door. I love that.
Yes.
That was secret door. Please be secret.
With a giant alien thing that they fought. And
yeah, that was pretty creepy.
The Scarlet Witch introduction is the moment when I realized that this should be the breakout character. Uh-huh. And she wasn't quite. But this moment where she was first seen, and when she first interacts with Cap, when she, puts her magic mojo on them, and then, the camera speed changes as she backs out through the door.
I like that.
Super creepy cinematography right there. I love it. It's kind of a cheap trick. Don't care. Love it. Wanted to see more of that sort of creepy camera work with her.
I think that they maybe were trying to... I mean, it's limitless what they could do with her powers, because it's kind of vague in the movie. And
it was vague in the comics, too.
Yeah.
She's hexes. She gives people bad luck. But she is also a literal witch. And,
she has magic on top of her mutant ability. Oh, can't say mutant, because it's not allowed.
Yeah. Did they actually name the characters in the movie? I don't remember them ever using.
They never say Scarlet Witch. They never say Quicksilver.
I don't think
they always say the twins, the enhanced,
the Maximoffs. I think they actually did use their real names.
So here's something that I don't know if I just missed it, but it never actually goes into where they got their powers. It doesn't go into
experimentation.
Experimentation from the Mind Gem.
Right, they were the only ones that.
They volunteered because they were trying to get revenge on Stark, who they feel destroyed their village, when really it was someone who stole his tech.
Right. Which that actually makes more sense with Scarlet Witch and her abilities, because it's the freaking Mind Gem.
That's true.
That gave her abilities, and that also shows why she doesn't really understand the full impact of it. I don't think, and so I don't think that she understood that she was showing for the future.
I was wondering how they're going to do it in the movie, because her mutant power, which they can't talk about, is just probability, right? She can make things happen. Like random things can happen. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't quite understand her powers in the comics, because it is, I think, supposed to be like she jinxes people and gives them bad luck. But M-Day is a thing that happened where she depowered all of the mutants in the world, except for the ones that people actually care about. So it made no practical difference.
It was kind of a cleanup method, But.
Yeah, but so I don't understand how it's supposed to work. I just go, comics, and move on.
Yeah, there you go. So they bring the staff back, have a great scene where they have a party.
Oh, the party.
So cute.
That was the only thing that I had seen before the movie was them trying to pick up the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as Ultron's voice came, into, I just got out of there. I was like, I can't watch anymore. I don't want to ruin it for me. So I think I would recommend not watching trailers for movies because you don't know what's coming next. You don't know what's going to happen, and I think it helps you enjoy it more and not set unrealistic expectations for yourself.
So, but before we get into, Ultron coming in and the scene with the hammer, I just have to mention Rhodey's story was such a great...
Well, there's a bunch of great moments in the party.
Oh, man.
Like Rhodey's story where he thinks he's so great. He's like, yeah, and I dropped the tanker, and they said, General, is this the tank you're talking about? And then, nothing. Because the Avengers did all that stuff in the opening scene, which by itself is a better story than anything that Rhodey's come up with. I feel bad for him.
Poor Rhodey, he's supposed to be the new Iron Man in the next Avengers movie. And this entire movie, Avengers Age of Ultron, is all about showing... Well, it's not all about, but every time Rhodey's on the screen, it's like, oh man, don't you wish you were as cool as Iron Man? But you're not.
You have a gun.
I think
pretty cool.
They do the character a bit of a disservice, I think, in this movie.
He gets that funny moment, though, where he tells the story again to some civilians, and they just...
And they love it. Yeah, that's true.
And he's just like, yeah.
Well, and one thing that I think is going to be interesting in seeing, Rhodey as the new Avenger is he has a military background where Tony Stark was just, a genius who had toys.
Military backgrounds actually do a lot for superheroes that are otherwise kind of boring. I mean, yeah. So if they play up on that, if they do that well. Of course, he does have to compete with Falcon, who also has that military background.
Right.
And somehow is cooler. I like Falcon more.
Oh,
he's super cool.
Falcon's the best.
As much as I love Ocean's 11, Anthony Mackie he's cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I do think it's interesting that Captain America will finally have actual soldiers under him.
That's true.
Right.
And
good point. That is a good point.
That is it.
He hasn't had that since the Howling Commandos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, I just have to mention, because news broke today, that, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is renewed for Season 3, but more importantly, Agent Carter is renewed for Season 2.
Yeah.
And the Howling Commandos are in Season 1 of Agent Carter, and they're absolutely awesome.
Who doesn't love Dum Dum Dugan? Or Neil McDonough. Whatever you want to call him, because one's his real name. Yeah, the party is great. We get more of the Black Widow and Hulk. She does this
such a bizarre romance.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
It works.
Oh,
but
it works.
It's bizarre.
I didn't see it coming.
No,
did
not.
Especially since I don't know what they were trying to do in Civil War, or not Civil War, but Cap 2 with the Hawkeye necklace, where she had an arrow on the necklace.
Yeah,
but it's just they are great friends, and that's all it is. In the Hawkeye comic, he describes Black Widow as his work wife.
Yeah,
which is
totally
so great.
Totally
and so
fits.
it's like, okay, fine. That's what their relationship is. Fine. That's how it is in the MCU. Great. But part of me was like, I want to see the Budapest movie, and have it start off with the pizza dog and Hawkeye and grills and.
So can I just say, I don't know if you guys noticed, but at the end of the movie, where they see the picture of Hawkeye's baby.
Yeah,
and
middle name is Pietro.
Yeah, his middle name is Pietro, but of course his first name is
Nathaniel.
After being named after Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
So he's named after
Natalie.
He's named after Black Widow and Quicksilver.
That's a nice touch.
Barton.
Rough name to live up to.
Yeah.
I grew up on a farm, but I'm named after 2 Avengers.
You have to be a really fast ballerina.
Better plie like you like the pentagon. So we get Stan Lee's best cameo, I think. I think less is more with Stan Lee, but I really enjoyed that. I like more of... in Spider-Man 1, there's a flash of Stan Lee, and I don't know if Spider-Man saves him, but it's like
He
a
saves
crowd
someone else,
scene.
I think.
Oh, he saves someone else.
He grabs somebody else out of the way of debris.
Yeah, like, and blink
that's it.
Blink and you miss it, because then it doesn't take you out of the movie. Then you watch it later and you're like, hey, that was Stan Lee! Like the Alfred Hitchcock walk by the movie.
Those are the
Right.
best cameos.
That's the best, but...
The best cameo, actually, I'm going to say is Big Hero 6.
Okay,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
it was
okay.
much.
Apart from Big Hero 6. This one was pretty good. I like how he's just like, yeah, whatever, give me the booze, you know, and like, has to be carried out there. There's Excelsior.
It was pretty
Lit
good.
up my little geeky heart.
Pretty good.
So, what else in the party? The hammer. The hammer
hammer
which
sequence.
leads directly into Ultron. While that's going on,
The best character moment, I think, for Thor in this whole movie is when Cap moves the hammer just a little bit, and Thor is so shaken by this.
That's what's Thor in this movie, especially, kind of. It's not like he was kind of flat.
He was.
Like,
Somebody was given as much to do.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
okay.
he's not a terrible actor or anything.
No,
like that.
I love him as
He
Thor.
just kind of fell flat, probably
We've
because
mentioned
they
the
didn't
abs.
give him anything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's very important. But that even that subtle moment in his eyes,
Oh, it's so
when
good.
it's just this most subtle. My face is falling when it's happening. Okay. We're done.
Nice try,
Not
Cap.
happening.
Oh, yeah. Because in the comics, Cap can lift it, or has lifted it.
I think I'm actually not as familiar with the Avengers in the comics as I would like to be, but it would make sense. Superman has lifted it.
Wonder Woman has.
Oh, that was awful though.
Well,
It changed her costume and it gave her a boob window, which that's what the definition of worthy is apparently. If you're a girl,
oh, I was talking about in the DC versus Marvel.
that's what I was talking about too.
It changed her costume?
It changes her costume and somehow makes it even more stripperific.
Oh, there was a fight scene when they're split up and they're on the same team fighting bad guys, and he like loses his hammer and she just hands it to him and then they all go back to fighting.
Oh, that one! I forgot about that. Yeah, that was better.
What comics are you?
No, this is such a tangent, you
What are
guys.
you reading?
No, there's a moment
Late
where
night reviews.
Wonder Woman fought Storm in the same series,
Oh.
and she had Thor's hammer for some reason,
Huh.
and then gave up the hammer, and then Storm beat her. Which, whatever.
So if you can have Thor's hammer, don't give it up.
Is the
So that just leads me to a little bit of a tangent. Am I the only one hoping that Beta Ray Bill shows up in
He
Ragnarok?
won't, but it would be amazing.
I
But he
bet there'll be a
won't.
reference to him, but he won't actually show up. There'll be enough of one to be like, that would have been more Beta Ray Bill, and that'll be it.
Which is a shame.
I just think that's my go-to, like, really random character. Like, yeah, he's like Thor, but he's a horse. So, while they're having their party in the background, Ultron is becoming self-aware, which, haven't they seen a movie before? Like, don't make artificial intelligence. It will take about 5 seconds to realize that people need to die.
Tony Stark has never seen Terminator.
Tony Stark had never seen Terminator, because he gets pretty close to the Skynet moment there.
But can I say that I loved that exchange between Ultron and Jarvis?
Yeah. When he's just like, wait, what's going on?
This
No,
feels weird.
I don't like it. Die. It's just, that's summarizing, but...
Ultron was a weird character for me. I don't know how much I liked Ultron. I do like that he had a personality, and that it was basically Tony Stark's personality, but evil.
Coming out of James Spader's
Right.
mouth.
It's
That's
like,
funny.
Yeah.
this really should have worked for me a lot better than it did.
That was my next question is, how does Ultron measure up to previous villains, and how does he do as a villain?
Well,
I really liked him, so
Marvel
I
did
can't
too.
really talk critically, I guess.
With very few exceptions, Loki being the primary one,
Yeah.
before anybody jumps down my throat again.
No, you're
The
right.
Marvel Comics, the MCU movie villains have been weak. They really have. They've not been developed as well as they should have been.
Well, they haven't been the focus of the movie.
I know, and that's been a problem.
And they haven't been well-known. Whiplash.
Whiplash, come on!
Ironmonger. The
But-
Abomination, I guess, I never read the Hulk comics. I don't
Yeah.
know how big Abomination is. But it's all versions, like darker versions of the main character for the most part. It's just like...
Yeah, even Red Skull, I felt,
Yeah.
was really underdeveloped. When he's one of the great Marvel villains.
Yeah.
He is a Nazi with a skull for a face. He should be this over-the-top evil deliciousness, and he was not.
Better than the other ones. Not as good as Loki, I'd think.
No, Loki is easily the top.
Yeah.
And then the villains from Cap 2.
Yeah.
And then I would probably put Ultron up there, but his competition's not stiff at this point.
Yeah.
Performance is excellent.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that if you're watching The Blacklist, then you know how great James Spader is.
And Ultron basically was Red Reddington.
Pretty much.
Basically.
If Red was out to get everyone, and not just people who have, wronged him.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I mean, I was surprised because I thought it was just going to be, the Ultron I knew from the comic books, like his little drone bots with not too much facial expression, and it was just going to be a really creepy voice coming out of a robot face. But it had a lot of facial capture that they used.
That bothered me so much.
Was the mouth creepy to you?
The mouth was creepy.
I think it worked well. It unnerved you a little bit. Like, he was a robot that could kind of humanize a little bit.
No, I spent the entire time like, why does he have lips? What robot gives himself lips? It's weird.
I could see James Spader.
Exactly, and I love that because
Yeah.
I loved him. He has this physicality about him when he moves and performs, and I love that they incorporated that in the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did bother me. I can see why people would like it. It wasn't. Not.
Did you have nightmares about it later? Is that
No,
what you're telling us?
no, it didn't. It took me out of the movie. It weirded me out. It didn't make him scarier. It made him silly. To me, that was my response. But I understand. I understand why people do like it. I'm not saying your opinion is wrong.
No, I mean, like, if it didn't hit you right, then it didn't hit you right.
Yeah.
I think it worked for me. I think that it could have been taken too far.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things in the movie could have been taken too far, and it could have ruined it. But I think that, it was different. Yeah, why does the robot have lips? But, hey, he's creepy.
His voice was really good.
Really good.
Really good. One of the new great supervillain voices, I think.
Oh, yeah. And just, like, his just contempt for everything was just great. And, like, when, what does Scarlet Witch say to him? She's like, "You're going to destroy the Avengers." He's like, "Well, crap, I wrote it down." It's just like, it's a really basic line, but I set it up wrong. But she says, I promise. Oh yeah, you're going to destroy the Avengers. She says, "I'm going to save the world," and, well, yeah. And just, the scene ends. It's just, like, the ways that he says things are really funny, and how he when he gets up and going and recruits the twins, and they meet up with Ulysses Claw, which we'll talk about, in somewhere near South Africa, because his accent's a little South African, I think.
What accent do you have in Wakanda, though?
That's true.
It's a
I would
fake
imagine
country.
I would imagine it would be similar to other African countries around it. I don't know where it's supposed to be in relation to other ones, but Andy Serkis is amazing. Speaking of motion capture and that whole scene. But yeah, when he cuts off his arm and he's really upset, he has these moments of rage where he can't control himself, and then goes back to, "Ooh, I'm sorry. Oh, I think that'll be okay." And he cuts the guy's arm off. It's not a robot. He can't just get another one, Oh.
But speaking of getting new arms, Veronica?
Oh.
Anyone a Veronica fan?
Oh my gosh.
How does this work? How does Tony Stark have armor when Jarvis is gone?
How do you mean?
Because he has the backup program with the girl's voice.
He doesn't use that until the very end of the movie.
So we know that Jarvis was still kind of running in the background.
Yeah.
So somehow he had enough control to call it down. That is maybe a little hole.
It is not often that I pick plot holes in a movie. I promise, guys, I loved this movie. I really did. I'm just saying the bad stuff, but I did like it. But yeah, this was the one
critical.
This was the one plot hole in any of the Marvel movies, really, to date, that stood out to me the first time I watched the movie.
See, once I realized it was Hulkbuster, I don't care.
Yeah, true.
So that's probably why people maybe haven't picked it apart yet. But
and I just thought of it as, well, it was co-developed by Banner, so it's probably using different technology.
That's true, too.
There you go. I didn't know if you were going to say something. I'm just looking to make sure we haven't missed any awesome scenes.
Dude, we do not have time to go over every inch of this movie.
Ulysses Claw mentioning Wakanda before they found him. They had to find him using physical records because Ultron had taken over everything else.
Yeah, this is all good stuff.
Yeah. Really loved Ulysses Claw. I guess he's going to be the villain in Black Panther.
Probably Black Panther,
Yes.
yeah.
That's correct.
I don't know him from the comics.
Yes, that's correct. You have corroborating evidence.
I've been told.
Oh,
Okay.
it would make sense.
That's
Yeah.
my
The
corroborating
one comic I have ever read with Claw in it was actually Claw versus Daredevil, which is funny because Claw's powers are all sound-based.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do well against Daredevil, or how does...
He deafens Daredevil because Daredevil has super hearing.
So he has... Okay, I thought...
Yeah. So, and it was really interesting, but it's literally my only exposure to the character.
I see.
That and the card.
So you know how he rates against other characters.
Yeah, he's about middling.
Okay. But I'm excited for Andy Serkis to be on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime.
I love Andy Serkis when he's himself. Like even his little character in 13 Going on 30. He's so.
He's
fun.
a good physical actor,
Yes, he
and
is.
sometimes the mocap distracts from it.
Yeah.
He's great when he's just on screen.
Mm-hmm.
He really is. And so this was the first I knew that Andy Serkis was involved in the Marvel movies, was when I saw him in Age of Ultron. I had no idea he was
I had
there.
forgotten
And
too.
it was great.
Yeah.
It was great to see him. He did a good job. He was just like, the twins tried to intimidate him, and he's like,
Nope.
Come back later.
Right.
And then Ultron introduced himself by busting through a thread, like throwing through.
As most people do.
Yeah. I love that part, and I forget what I was going to say about that part, except it was great. Oh, it leads into the Hulkbuster fight, which has some of my favorite lines. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. I love how he's like, it's like he's trying to talk his buddy down from a tantrum. And he's trying to keep from wrecking too much. I think that they were, mindful of how everyone reacted to Man of Steel.
Not just Man of Steel.
Wanted destruction.
Let's be fair.
In the Avengers too.
People freaked out about the destruction in the Avengers, and
Yeah.
the only reason we are still talking about that is because Man of Steel came along and was somehow
much
worse.
Yeah. But I love how, he gets the people out of the elevator and then bashes them over the head with the elevator. He punches him so hard that he spits out a tooth and just gives him this angry look.
When I saw that,
I'm sorry. It killed me.
That was such a great oh crap moment.
Yeah.
So good.
That was one of the standout moments to me. Trying to get close to the end here, what were the other standout moments of this movie? Like in the first Avengers, we had the puny god, which made Hulk more of a star and kind of stood out. What were some of the moments in this movie that I know of? Like the one, I'm guessing that maybe someone will say. I won't say it, but
Hawkeye's speech to Scarlet Witch.
Yes,
that
indeed.
was so good. It's so good. That wasn't one.
We're
of
on a flying city,
Fighting killer robots.
fighting an army of killer robots, and I have a bow and arrow. Nothing makes sense.
A bow and arrow. A bow and arrow. Doesn't he say it twice?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
And then of course, just you walk out that door, you're an Avenger.
That was
That's a powerful moment.
And now I'm sad that Wanda wasn't a bigger, she wasn't the standout character. Now I'm sad about that.
Yeah, that scene should have been the climax of her arc in a way that really made us feel like she is a hero now.
Yeah,
but she
and
didn't
it was,
quite,
but it wasn't like.
Right.
We didn't have the enough of the development beforehand for that to really have the impact that it needed to. But that is my favorite moment of the movie. It is actually the moment. It is the moment that makes Avengers 2 work for me in a way that Avengers 1 never did. When you combine that with the entire climax of the movie being about, we've got this flying city that's going to be slammed into the earth as a meteor. Let's save everyone.
Yeah.
When you've got Iron Man fighting the Hulk and he does a scan of this building to make sure that there are no people in it before he crashes the Hulk into the building.
How quickly can we buy this building?
There are two things that I want to see in a superhero movie that are going to make me cry, that are going to make me love the movie. I want to see heroes saving people, and I want to see heroes inspiring people. Mm-hmm. That's all I need. You didn't have enough of that in the Avengers, and frankly, you haven't had enough of that in any of the Marvel movies up until, I think, Cap 2. Mm. But the instant that Avengers Age of Ultron comes around and is like, every action that they make is about saving people. And it becomes the question, are we so caught up in stopping the bad guys that we're not saving people, or are we willing to make the greater sacrifice that we need to help others? And in Hawkeye's case, take the time to inspire the woman who has this potential to be very, very influential in the world, but is afraid. Oh man, that really did it for me. I'm crying. I'm like tearing up just talking about this.
He's like, and they talk about it. He's the weak one, and his wife tells him, "You need to keep him grounded. You need to be there to remind him."
Hawkeye kills it in this movie.
Yeah, he does. And he did. And I love that because
favorite
he didn't get any love in the first one because it determined that his mind was taken over, and other things had to be done. Kills it in this movie, absolutely. He's the one with the bow and arrow, telling the one who possibly is the most powerful of all of them. I don't know, maybe depending on the comic you're reading, who's writing it. She could do all this much, and she does bust out her powers at one point later on when Quicksilver dies.
That's my least favorite part of the movie.
Yeah. Well, it was almost my least favorite part, except I was really glad that Hawkeye didn't die.
Yeah, me too.
Because Joss Whedon teases us. You know, he has to go back for the kid. He tells his wife he has one more project around the house, and he's going to be done. And he's that's going to be it. And they have this wonderful relationship. And you know, Joss Whedon's going to just rip out your heart and like set it up. And
well, no, technically Scarlet Witch ripped out Ultron's heart.
And I've done this. This is how it feels.
Do that accent again.
No.
I love that moment, and I love when when Quicksilver comes back, grabs Scarlet Witch, and takes off, and says, "Try to keep up, old man." And Clinton Barton draws his boat. No one would know. No one would know. Oh yeah, last I saw, Ultron was sitting on top of him. Bastard, we dearly missed. I miss him already. He's like, really wants to shoot him, but he's not going to. And he's just jogging, trying not to lose any of his arrows. Oh my gosh.
So good.
Cracked me up in the middle of all this, like, just craziness going on, and the whole city's gonna crash.
And again, in the middle of the craziness, you've got Iron Man, Hulk, how many Avengers can I name wrong? Captain America and Thor teaming up to save a woman falling off the edge of the island in the sky. Yeah. Oh, it was so great to see that.
Yeah, I liked how in a couple of action scenes they used their powers together. Thor
and Captain America just casually smacking the shield to create that sonic wave.
Right.
I love it's like they're running at us. Yeah, they're excited. Bam!
See, one thing that adds a lot of depth to them wanting to save all these people is the fact that at the beginning of the movie, these are the same people who have the paintings of, you know, the graffiti of Tony Stark with the dollar signs.
Yeah.
These are the same people throwing fruit and whatever else.
Acid at one of the Legionnaires or whatever they call the.
Exactly, and so these are people who were born and raised basically by Hydra to hate the Avengers, and the Avengers are doing everything that they can to save them.
Yeah. They could just be like, no loss, whatever. But they're not. I mean, obviously they'd lose the whole world if they did that.
Right.
What do you think the standout scene was for you, Emily?
Oh, I don't like this question.
What scene do you think about then when you think about the movie?
When I think about the movie, the one that gets me, and really, it's not even like the culminating moment of the movie, but it's that point where Vision has been, created, and they can't tell. They don't know whether they can trust this guy. He picks up Thor's hammer and hands it to him.
Oh, yeah, that was mine.
What can you do to assure that all of the Avengers trust Vision?
Yep.
Hand him Thor's hammer.
And they're all
that was a good moment.
Well, the first time I saw it, everyone just gasped. And the second time I saw it, there was a little bit of a gap, and everyone was like, what just happened? Oh, my wife just yelled, whoa! So great.
Well, and then I love how they argue about that near the end of the movie.
Put the hammer in an elevator.
Elevator goes up. The elevator's not worthy.
Vision gets, I think, what is probably the Joss Whedoniest line of all of the Avengers movies. Just knowing a little bit about Joss Whedon's philosophies, it has this final conversation with Ultron.
You're afraid of you? Of death. You're the last one. You're supposed to be the last. Stark asked for a savior and settled for a slave. I suppose we're both disappointments. Ultron laughs. I suppose we are. Humans are odd. They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't be. But there is grace in their failings. I think you missed that. They're doomed. Yes, but a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. It is a privilege to be among them. You're unbearably naive. Well, I was born yesterday.
That exchange.
That's the one?
In particular, that bit about it's a privilege to be among them and they're doomed. Like that is such a Joss Whedon thing. And that was the moment when his thumbprint was big and clear on the movie. It wasn't a bad moment.
I was going to say, I like Joss Whedon.
Was not a bad moment because I think Vision's respect for life is what's going to make him an interesting character to watch. Mm. It's not the Pinocchio aspect. He's not wanting to be human, but he's wanting to honor everything that is human. It's a nuance, but I think it's an important one that's going to make him a lot more interesting than a lot of similar characters that we've seen.
Can I just say, I look forward to seeing Thanos try to go after the Mind Gem.
Oh, I'm worried that he'll get it.
He will. It's a two-part movie. You'll have to get it at some point. Well, I guess he hasn't gotten any of them so far, so why should he start then?
That's true.
But then again, he hasn't been trying himself.
I think the point of the films, Captain America says, it's not about beating Ultron. It's about proving we're not monsters.
Oh, that speech was so good.
You know, and that's kind of the argument, isn't it? That Ultron thinks they're all monsters, and they're like, well, no, we're not. But then you look at what Ultron wants to do and what Tony Stark wants to do, and it's similar, and the means are different, but, you know,
I
it comes
see
down
this-
to the same thing.
I see this movie as being a real response to the way that the superhero movies have been for the last 10 years. It's all been about these big destructive climaxes. Every Marvel movie, I think every Marvel movie to date, ever since the cinematic universe started, has ended with death from the sky. There's always been some big thing in the sky that is raining death down on normal people.
Yep.
It's really small scale in Iron Man 1. It's like the single suit is up there bringing down a single building.
Right.
But it just has gotten bigger and people are dying in these movies. And I know that it's realistic to have people die in movies. I don't want to see people die in my superhero movie. I want to see a man in the sky that is here to save us. That's all I want to see. And Avengers 2 is really speaking to that. The superheroes have gotten dark and people are dying on a regular basis. And it's really easy, and I've heard people say that they don't like superhero stories because it's just people, like, one guy punching another guy to prove that he's right. And that's not what it should be about. And Avengers 2 does a better job of addressing that than any other superhero movie to date.
I'd have to argue with that.
Get out of my house!
I don't know. I think that the one that comes closest in my mind is Spider-Man 2.
Okay, Spider-Man 2, I was specifically referring to the MCU.
Okay.
But Spider-Man 2, your point is taken.
Okay.
Point is taken. Spider-Man 2 is very, very good, and I think it makes it very good. Yeah. You win, Brady! Fine!
Any other closing thoughts? Anything else anyone else want to add?
I liked it. It was good.
My favorite line, I haven't been able to find exactly how it is online, but it's a great moment between Black Widow and Hulk on the Quinjet coming back from the first fight. And she's like, hey, if you weren't there, then, you know, there could have been tons of casualties. And he's like, well, you know how sometimes just what you want to hear isn't exactly, or exactly what you want to hear isn't exactly what you want to hear. Mm-hmm. And then she turns to Thor. She says, Thor, damage report on the Hulk. And he says, ah, yes, the gates of hell are filled with the screams of his And it's just this moment of, oh. And then he realizes what he said, and he's like, the many complaints of sore deltoid muscles, sprained ankles, and the gout. It's just like he has to backtrack. It's just so funny seeing him backtrack. And later when he's trying to distract Ultron, because Ultron decides to take out Thor because he's the big gun, and he's like, I am Thor, son of Odin, and as long as there is breath in my breast, I am running out of things to say. Are you ready? And then Vision comes in, and yeah.
Well, and I think that's something that, you know, going back to Thor 2, or even the first Avengers, that I feel like is missing with Thor, that was definitely present in the first Thor movie, is that Thor is really out of place in this world.
Yeah.
And
Another
Best Thor moment ever.
My wife still says, my mortal form has grown weak. No sustenance. Like, okay, I'll make dinner.
How did everyone else feel about the Black Widow Hulk relationship?
Didn't see it coming, but I loved it.
You know,
it made sense, because
it worked in the movie.
Emily's obviously got something she wants to say.
I don't know. I just really liked it. We haven't talked enough about it, I think. Maybe just because I just really want to talk about it. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I think that the Hulk is everything that she wants, because, you know, she wants to be rounded and to have you know, that hope that, say, you know, Hawkeye has with his family. Mm-hmm. You know, where it's a normal life out there.
Wait. The Hulk represents Black Widow's desire for a normal life?
The Hulk does not, but Bruce Banner.
Okay.
Because Bruce Banner is the only guy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe who has not killed people as Bruce Banner.
Right.
But then you have
the guy who tries not to fight because he knows he can win.
Yeah.
But that's another good line.
Love that line.
You know, Black Widow also, I can see her being into a bad boy, and she has both of them involved.
Well,
Two husbands for the price of one.
And there's
Exactly.
that moment too. Did they talk about her infertility in the comics at all?
I don't think it's a plot point in the comics at all. I don't think that's actually
I don't
part
know
of the
about her
character.
training or whatever. Mostly it's just she has this dark past where she's killed a lot of people.
Well,
Black
so-
Widow was originally a supervillain.
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So here's something from Agent Carter. Is Agent Carter shows the beginnings of the Black Widow program in Russia,
Oh.
and basically it's a series of sleeper agents put into the United States, trained from a very young age, and they do things like they handcuff themselves to their beds because they have nightmares from all of the horrors that they're being put through, and things like that, and so. Black Widow was obviously raised in this program. 50 years from Agent Carter, but still the same things apply.
In the comics, the Red Room is also a similar program to what creates the Winter Soldier.
Gotcha.
So there's a connection. I don't know if it will be teased out in Civil War, but it's there.
And Black Widow's older in the comics. Like, she's kind of ageless.
Well, all the characters in the comics.
Well,
are
yeah, but, like, she was around back in the day and also is today. Anyway.
So can we talk a little bit about the new Avengers lineup?
Yeah, interesting. Falcon and Rhodey, War Machine.
They seem redundant. To have the both of them on the same team for some reason seems redundant. You've got two second-string military depowered superheroes from their usual counterparts.
I wouldn't argue with that though, because
I like
Please do. I want to be more excited about this than I am, so please tell me why I'm wrong.
You have Falcon is all about maneuverability,
And I don't need to be convinced to like Falcon. So,
but Falcon's all about maneuverability, where War Machine is firepower.
okay.
And so that way you actually need both of them. Yes, they both fly. Yes, they both have military backgrounds. But I think that is enough of a distinction between the two and can be used in different ways.
And I like them both, so shut up.
Okay.
And we have Vision and we have Scarlet Witch together, which is a thing in the comics. I don't know.
I'm really concerned because if they do the Vision Scarlet Witch romance, Emily's making faces now.
I don't think that's going to be a thing.
Yeah,
It was
I
a thing in the
don't
comics.
I don't
They
think
had
it's gonna be a
babies, and then the babies turned out to be imaginary, and Scarlet Witch went insane and got rid of all the mutants.
That's horrible.
Because comic books.
The fallout from that, though, I really like in the X-Men comics. The fallout from the M-Day stuff.
It definitely made the X-Men comics feel more, like, heightened, more dangerous.
Less so property.
Yeah.
With respect to Chris Claremont's work.
Yeah. So, fun rumor. So Martin Freeman has been cast.
Right? For Civil War?
My brother has a theory, because Civil War is going to mark the first appearance in the MCU of a particular character.
He's Spider-Man.
My brother thinks
Ooh.
that Martin Freeman might be Norman Osborn.
Interesting.
I know, right? I don't think it'll happen, but if it does,
Is your brother putting money down on this?
probably
or-
not.
See, I think you're going to make him a good guy.
I don't know. Having seen Fargo,
That's
Martin Freeman does a good bad guy.
Oh my gosh,
He
he
makes
does such
a
a good
really
bad
good
guy.
villain.
Not quite as good as Billy Bob Thornton, but
Their acting performances, the both of them, were
They complement each other.
fantastic. And
Yeah.
so,
Well, that's been the news today, is that everyone in the whole world is going to be in Civil War, which
Oh, also me. Just
But-
kidding.
it's Avengers 2.5.
it kind of is with the way that it's looking. I don't know how they're going to handle it, but I'm interested to see how it's going to play out. But based on how good Cap 2 was...
And it's the
I'm
same
on
director,
board.
right?
I forget, because
They're doing Avengers...
Yeah, they're
Infinity
doing
War.
Infinity War in 1 and 2. So.
But they've demonstrated that even if they don't give a lot of screen time to a character, they know how to treat the character well.
Yeah.
Batroc got no screen time.
A joke
And he
villain.
was great.
Yeah.
Zola got almost no screen
And
time.
Winter Soldier didn't have a whole ton of
He had like
screen
5
time, really.
lines, maybe.
Yeah.
And
but
he was great.
He was, really great. So, I trust them whatever they end up doing, so...
Joss
I'm okay
Whedon
with
has
it.
there's been said of Joss Whedon, rather, that he was the perfect person to do the Avengers because he knows how to do ensemble films.
Yep.
But the Russo brothers, that's their names, right? The Russo brothers?
Yes.
I think Cap 2 proves that they've got the chops to do it as well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'm on board for whatever they turn out, so...
which I think it's interesting that their background is Community.
Yeah.
Community and Didn't they do Arrested Development too?
Yeah, I think they did a few episodes of
Yeah.
Arrested Development as well.
And they did another film that I could look up, but look them up. They're great.
By the way, so rumor for Star Wars Episode 9 that they're bringing Joss Whedon on for Episode 9.
Oh
So
man.
I don't know though. After this big movie, I don't know if you want to do that one too, but it'd be cool.
Because if you think that Avengers is stressful,
I'm just gonna put
No
this on the
pressure.
table. Joss Whedon writing for Han Solo.
oh wow,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Anyway,
Isn't 7 gonna be? Well, at least Clint Eastwood's last. Not
Clint
Clint
Eastwood?
Eastwood. Why did I Harrison Ford. I do this all the time. Harrison Ford's last. I've heard it's his last time he's doing
probably.
Han Solo.
I think that we should leave Star Wars until
you know what actually happened.
December, when I'm sure we're going to do this exact same thing with even more hype. So
It's been so hard avoiding those dumb trailers. People keep posting them on Facebook and they auto load, and it's like, I already know more than I wanted to know. There's a little round droid. He looks cute. And he's a practical effect.
and he's BB-8
That's not important right now because we're going to end Age of Ultron.
with an adorable robot.
Oh,
Yay!
Vision. It's pretty great. Anyone else have anything else they want to add?
No.
I think
Well,
I think we pretty well beat this one to death.
All right, keep an eye on our Facebook page and our podcasts. We'll have another one next month. And Excelsior.